Talk. My name is Cynthia Defazio, joined today by Kevin Deitrich and Joe Deitrich of First Choice Financial Services Incorporated. To our viewers at home, are you wondering how you can have a stress-free retirement? Well, think about it like this. When you're coming into the retirement years, it's kind of like a ship that's been at sea for a long time, let's just say decades, and going through choppy waters and what have you. But if the crew has a compass and they have a guide, they know how to get there with ease. Well, what about retirement planning? Are there some things that you can do to chart your own course to peace? First Choice Financial Services, they are here with us today, and guess what? They're going to be the captain of your retirement ship. Thank you for being with us today. Joe, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much. And Kevin, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing, Cynthia?
I am doing wonderful.
So good to see you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, thank you for asking me to be your host. I'm honored and blessed. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
And I love that we're talking about some top considerations for a stress-free retirement, kind of equating that to a journey out at sea and bringing that ship into a nice, calm, comfortable, safe harbor, if you will. So charting the course early, very important. We know every captain knows that. You've got to chart the course early. But I should ask you, Kevin, please, why does starting retirement planning early reduce stress later on?
Yeah, time, I think, is the key factor there. Time. We only have so much time. So the earlier you can start the process, I think the better off we are. That's what we've seen from our experience. Time creates flexibility and options.
Okay.
For you, which naturally lowers anxiety.
Yes.
So if we talked about last episode, packing for a trip.
Yes.
And we talked about that as that's like part of like preparing for retirement. So the earlier you pack, do you pack like the night before? Do you pack like the morning of?
I am typically, I start to pack 2 days before.
2 days?
Yeah.
So you're way early.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife gets all frustrated with me because I pack like the morning of.
Do you really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But what about you, Joe?
I'm the night before person. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the longer you wait, the less flexibility if you need something else.
But same thing happens with the retirement,
True.
if you think of it that way.
Yes.
Like, some people wait to the last minute to start planning. Some people pre-plan really, really early. I mean, I've known people that start packing for a vacation like a week in advance.
True.
So that's crazy in my brain, you know.
Yeah.
But in the retirement world, as you plan for the biggest moment of your life, as far as, because most people will spend more time in retirement than they have done working.
That is true.
So we're planning for that. And so the earlier you can start, the better off. We've had folks come in our office, like kids of our clients that are in their late 20s, early 30s, that are starting to plan now for retirement.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Being very proactive.
Absolutely.
That's a great thing.
And that gives them flexibility as to how and where they're saving their funds. And, you know, like Kevin said, you know, the earlier, the more flexibility you have. So, you know, 1 degree off can make a big difference on a long journey.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So
Makes
plane
sense.
leaves New York going to LA and they're 1 degree off, they're going to end up in Seattle, you know. So we want to be careful as to where we're going. But the earlier we go, the more adjustments we can make along the way.
Absolutely, Joe. Thank you so much. How should people think about defining what a stress-free retirement actually means to them? Like everyone has a different definition, is what I'm trying to say, of a stress-free retirement.
Right.
How should someone start defining that?
Yeah, I mean, your retirement should be your retirement. It's not a cookie cutter approach. It's not $1. It's not a pack of statements. It's going to be, what are your goals and your dreams? Kevin says all the time, like, we encourage you to dream again. What do you want your retirement to look like? The earlier the start, the more likely you're going to be able to achieve that dream goal, right? But stress-free should be certainty, right? It should be aligned with your priorities, your goals. We're talking about this boat analogy, and my mind keeps going back to like an old sailboat, you know, navigating by the stars. You know how difficult, how anxious that might be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
For us, but they were used to it.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's how they did it.
We could easily digress at this point.
But our goal should, I mean, I think our goal is more attuned to getting on a cruise ship, right? We've looked at the cruise ship.
Yeah.
We know the amenities. We know the destination. We know what we're going to do along the way. We plan early. We'll be planning for, you know, next year's cruise, right? I mean, this is going to assure that we got the money to be able to pay for the cruise. We know where we're going. We got the best stateroom. We got all the amenities we want. The earlier we start, the more closely we can get to that goal, that dream cruise that we want.
Most
And we're not
definitely.
navigating by the stars anymore.
Yes, exactly. Thankfully, because that would be a little scary. What if it's cloudy? But anyway, see, I told you we could digress.
It's been said that most people plan for vacation longer or more than they plan for their retirement.
Yeah, spend more hours on planning for a vacation.
Wow.
That's
Kevin,
crazy.
it is crazy when you think about it. How can professional guidance help people feel less overwhelmed at this point in life?
Sure.
Because when you think about it, when you go on a cruise, you most certainly want to have a captain and you want to have a crew. So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think there's value in it. There's value having that guidance, that structured plan, instead of just scattered ideas. I mean, you would feel so much better if you have a cruise schedule. We're using this cruise analogy.
I know.
That we have structured plan. I'm going to get to the airport this time. The airline goes to this particular destination. I get on the boat, and then here's what the week looks like. Those are all structured plans.
Absolutely.
Instead of just deciding the day before I'm going to go on a cruise and then packing, throwing some shorts in a bag, and getting a water bottle and going to the airport and says, hey, do you have a flight to the Caribbean?
Right.
Or do you have a flight to Florida so I can get on the boat down in Miami? We're not going to do that.
No.
But
no,
we
no,
sort
no.
of do that with our retirement sometimes. We just throw some stuff in a shoebox. That's my retirement right there. All those statements, that's my retirement.
Yeah.
And then we have no plan in place.
Yep, I'm doubling down on the analogy. So
There
yeah,
you
you
go.
get there, and you really want to have the boat to have a water slide. That boat doesn't have a water slide. You want that one to have a basketball court. It doesn't have a basketball court. It's too bad. You waited too long to try to plan that vacation. You're not going to get the amenities you want. You're not going to have the retirement that you dreamed of. And now that doesn't mean that if you haven't started early, it's too late.
Right.
We need to start where we are. So Jill and Mo, right?
Okay.
Clients, longtime clients of ours. But when they first came in, they had it's too late for us. That was the mentality. It's too late for us. We're in debt.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to work until I die, essentially. And we might as well just go ahead and throw the additional vacations on the credit card, and who cares? Because it's too late for us. And we're like, well, time out. Let's slow down. Where do we want to go? What do we want this to be? And maybe it's not fancy vacations for the rest of our life, but what's most important to us? Family, friends, spouse, whatever that might be, right? It took a couple of years, but there was a plan in place, and we went from in debt and it's too late for us to some discipline, paying off debt, changing our lifestyle, identifying what matters most, and it's amazing where it might not be as much material stuff, but they are happy. They're
Yes.
happy. Yeah.
Yes.
I want
Because
to just mention
peace of mind.
something real quick here.
Please.
People that are sitting at home, I want you to listen to me here. You might be sitting there thinking, it's too early to read. It's too early to even start talking about this. I'm just too young. You're not too young. You might sit there thinking, I'm already retired. I never really had a plan in place, but it's too late for me. I'm already retired. The wheels are in motion. It's not too late for you either. I want you to pick up the phone, give us a call, talk to a receptionist. Her name's Kristen. Beautiful lady, wonderful personality. She'll book an appointment with you. Come and see Joe or myself, one of our advisors. We're going to sit down and go through a plan and put a plan together. If you're early, great. If you're already retired, that's fine too. Just come on in. Take advantage of the situation. Take advantage of this free offer for a complimentary, customized retirement plan.
Kevin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Joe, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, this is your opportunity to chart your own course for retirement. Call in today, 888-959-2743, 888-959-2743. You're calling in today for the complimentary consultation. The team of First Choice Financial Services Incorporated want to be your guide. They want to be your captains of the ship, if you will. Don't miss the opportunity to call in, 888-959-2743, or grab your smartphone and click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That's the fast track to get on the schedule. We're going to take a very short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about some tools and some strategies to help keep you in calm waters, even when unexpected storms come your way. Stay tuned.
How I got in the world of finance? My brother-in-law had a friend that was in the business, and he was looking to find an agent, and I was looking for a job. I was really hesitant, almost didn't do it. But then I thought, I got to have a job while I'm looking for a future, and so that's why I took it. And then one day I was asked to deliver a death claim check to a family. This was a very emotional situation, and my son was there watching this whole thing. So as I sat down and went over the amount of the money and how it should be spent, she was just up and hugging me and thanking me. And at that point in time, it hit me that what I'm doing is really important. It's not just being in the life insurance business. And so it was just a few months till I was independent. Yeah, I couldn't do what I wanted to do as a captive agent. As an independent, it allowed me to be flexible with my time. And now the blessing is that Kevin, that young man I was talking about, he is now joining me in my practice. And his brother, Joe is joining me in the practice. So the future of First Choice Financial Services is in great hands.
Welcome back to Mid-State Money Talk. My name is Cynthia Defazio, joined today by Kevin Deitrich and Joe Deitrich of First Choice Financial Services Incorporated. We're talking today about some tips so that you can have a stress-free retirement. Thank you for being with us today. We enjoy having your company on this show. So I want to talk a little bit about Alvin, if we could, because the viewers at home are seeing the commercial. They're asking, he looks really nice. Who is he? He's amazing. Joe, do you want to explain who Alvin is in the commercials?
So Alvin is my father, Kevin's father, and the founder of First Choice Financial Services. Started over 45 years ago. He's the patriarch. He is actually the captain of our ship. So,
yay!
And as you probably saw on the commercials, he's warm and he's patient. And, anytime you get to sit down and talk with him is going to be a blessing for you.
He's 100% huggable is what he is. You can tell him I said that. Hi, Alvin.
If people start hugging him every time they come and see him, I'm going to tell him it's your fault.
It's my fault.
I don't think he'll complain.
Okay. So, Joe, I have a question. What are the biggest financial risks that can disrupt a stress-free retirement? The biggest financial risks, kind of like that unexpected storm at sea. Yeah.
If you went to our website, firstchoicefinancialservicesinc.com, you're going to see a lot of resources, right? But one page you're going to see on there, we talk about the 6 risks to your retirement income. And so let's just talk about that a little bit. You've a couple of them anyways. Longevity is a big risk. Am I going to run out of money, right? Am I going to live longer than my money lasts? That's definitely a big risk.
Absolutely.
It's something that we need to talk about and plan for. Guaranteed lifetime income is a huge benefit to be able to resolve that longevity risk. Your market risk, which is the volatility of the market, the way that you are investing earlier in your years, red zone, and later in years, they're going to change. You're going to have adjustments that you need to make, and you're going to want somebody in your corner to help you make those adjustments. Taxes, inflation,
big one.
Big one. Healthcare costs.
Yes.
So between 2025 and 2026, Social Security got a COLA. Your Social Security checks got a COLA increase of 2.8%. But however, your Medicare Part D premium went up over 10%.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's a big deal as well.
Absolutely.
Healthcare costs go up faster, have been going up faster than normal inflation for other items. So all of these things need to be worked together, and these few risks, we identify 6 that we focus on immediately, but there's others, can be a risk to your retirement. You want to have a plan that addresses each one of those.
Most definitely. Those are little squalls that you can actually encounter, if you will. So, Kevin, how should retirees think about creating reliable income in retirement?
Sure, that's something that we've been talking about quite often here, is just having that reliable income stream coming in, that you're confident in that, is a huge impact on your plan and a huge confidence booster for you. So balancing predictable income with flexibility, that's really, really key.
Yes.
Comfort comes from knowing that the bills are going to be paid.
Absolutely.
As my dad mentioned on some of the commercials that he's hosting there, and we've mentioned over and over again as well, is that people are afraid to run out of money.
Yes.
That's their number one concern. And so that's one of the risks in retirement is longevity, is running out of money. Your money, you outliving your money is really a risk there. So making sure that the bills are covered and those other paychecks are covered as well. Those fun things are really important. Those goals or dreams. If we don't have the money for the goals and dreams, why retire, right? So it's one of those things where we need to make sure that we have that planned for proactively ahead of time that will cover those expenses when those occur, or when you want to take those monies out to be able to do those things.
Yeah, people,
Most
and we're living
definitely.
longer. People are living longer, and if you're married and you're 65, the chance that one of you is going to live past 95 is going up and up and up every
Right.
year. So,
Yes.
things like guaranteed lifetime income. Do you have a pension? Do you have alternatives to your Social Security? If you don't have a pension, would you like to have an account that does something very similar and provides you guaranteed lifetime income? That's something that, in the right circumstances, we include in the plan. So
Right.
everybody's different, obviously. So their income plan is going to look a little bit differently. But knowing how to execute with the tools at our disposal is important.
Most definitely. And I think it's so important, Joe, to talk about tax planning, because if you're not preparing for taxes, they can be the unknown. So talk about how a relaxed retirement should also involve tax planning.
Yeah, absolutely. Who wants to give more money away than they need to, right? And we
Right.
talk about, we've been socking our money away in a 401k for all these years, but you're not the sole beneficiary of that 401k. The IRS is also going to be sharing in your withdrawals from that account, and
Yes.
at what rate, right? So
Yeah.
what can we do over time to be able to put ourselves in the best position from a tax perspective? When we look at, this is how our plan looks from the lens of taxes. Not many people do that, and it's something that is very important to us. RMDs are a huge deal.
Absolutely.
I think of one of our clients, and this is where our focus needs to shift a little bit. So Phil has almost all his money in a 401k, and he's very focused on his current tax rate. And I don't want to pay any more taxes than I need to, which is perfectly understandable. However, if you've got $2 million sitting in a 401k, 10 years from now, what's that rate going to be? And when you're forced to take money out of it, you don't have any control over your tax rate anymore. You're going to be forced to do that. So
Yes.
what can we do to try to smooth those things out? Sometimes it takes a mindset shift to be able to decide, like, hey, I don't know what the future is going to hold. I don't know what that tax rate's going to be, but I know what today is and what I can do today.
Most definitely. And people, I think, are so often not thinking about taxes, but doesn't it make sense to pay taxes at the known rate versus the unknown rate down the
Yeah,
road?
particularly right now, we're in like the third lowest tax bracket schedule in history. We think taxes always feel like a burden,
Right.
regardless of the year. But when you're thinking of the highest marginal tax rate in the 30% range, 37% versus 50, 60, 70% has been in the past, we're actually in kind of a lower tax rate bracket. And we locked those in for a couple of years. So tax planning, the one big beautiful bill,
Yes.
provides additional standard deductions for seniors, and there's some details to that we go through with our clients. So there's some opportunities here in the short term for tax planning that people should take advantage of.
Yes.
Give us a call. The number's on the screen, 888-959-2743. If you pull out your smartphone, you can click the QR code. Either way, you're going to get in touch with somebody that'll allow you to be able to get on our schedule, and we'll be able to talk to you and go through what your particular situation is. Tax planning may be the most important thing that you need to address right now. Maybe you have all the other pieces in place. This might be the missing piece, but give us a call so we know.
Joe, thank you so much. Kevin, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, we want to welcome you again to be part of the family. How do you become part of the family? Call in today, 888-959-2743, 888-959-2743. Book that complimentary consultation with the team of First Choice Financial Services Incorporated so that you can be in charge of your retirement journey. Be the captain of your own ship, if you will. Take advantage, 888-959-2743. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to talk more in detail about how you can consider some lifestyle choices, too, to have a stress-free retirement. Stay tuned.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter. The one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go, A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Welcome back to Mid-State Money Talk. My name is Cynthia Defazio, joined today by Kevin Deitrich and Joe Deitrich of First Choice Financial Services Incorporated. And we're talking all about how proper planning can allow you to have a stress-free retirement. Just like a ship leaving the harbor that may encounter unexpected storms, the goal is to reach the harbor safe. Well, that's what we're talking about today so that you can have a safe retirement journey. So, Kevin, I should ask you a question. How important is flexibility in maintaining a stress-free retirement? Do you have to be flexible?
Well, obviously, we all have to be flexible in life, and having a stress-free retirement is also part of that. With our customizable retirement plan, it brings it with adaptability, it brings with the flexibility, and reduces fear of anything that might come unknown that we didn't know was going to happen.
Yes.
Regular check-ins and adjustments to the plan is very important. That's why we meet with our clients every 6 months to a year, just to catch up with them, see how they're doing, because again, they're family, and making sure that they're okay income-wise and expense-wise, it's not out of whack, and making sure that the investments are online and task on what we're looking to do. So those are all part of that flexibility. We have to be flexible as advisors. They should be flexible and adaptable as clients, and that we make a good team that way.
Okay, excellent, because we all know that life changes. You have to be able to pivot when it's important.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Most definitely. So, Joe, what role does healthcare planning play in peace of mind during retirement? We touched on this just a little bit, but when you think about it, healthcare is rising every single day, the cost of healthcare.
Yeah.
So how important is planning for that?
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about how costs of healthcare increases faster than general inflation rates,
Yes.
right? And this continues to be a concern for a lot of people. And again, whenever there's a concern, we don't stick our head in the sand. We take the next step and we identify it, we try to seek clarity, and we plan for these things. So, things like transitioning from the workforce to your Medicare coverage,
Yes.
Making the proper Medicare selections, understanding what is covered, what is not covered, making your choices from whether it's a supplement plan or an advantage plan and what meets your needs specifically. That's going to be very specific to, what's your overall health like and what do you expect? What's your genes like and not the ones you wear? What's
Right.
your family history, right?
Yes.
We talk about these things as we're preparing and getting to know our clients. If you have an HSA, have you taken the time and planned ahead to overfund maybe that HSA or fill up as much as we can and bring that into retirement as a resource, right?
Yes.
Long-term care. How do we solve for long-term care? Are we young enough that some sort of insurance solution to that is going to be cost-effective and helpful? And do we need to self-fund? Like, how do we solve for that?
Right.
Steve and Sharon is clients of ours, and in their particular situation, they had an early inheritance, which is a sad situation if you have your parents are passing away
Right.
earlier. But
Absolutely.
we had resources that we could now transition to say, well, we don't need these otherwise. Let's focus on the healthcare planning aspect of it. How do we make sure that we're funded to be able to take care of ourselves and protect one another from long-term care costs? And we then transition some of those resources into a long-term care plan. So all of these things, if we start now, we can start working towards those goals.
It's all about planning in advance,
There you
most
go.
definitely. And speaking of planning, Kevin, what about legacy and estate planning? Is that part of a stress-free retirement conversation?
It's definitely part of that stress-free retirement and part of our planning, and generally speaking. Legacy planning, leaving the money that you have earned and sacrificed for and you've grown to the heirs that you want to leave them to and the way you want to leave them without, and then minimizing the tax burden on them is part of that legacy planning, of course, part of the estate planning as well. So ongoing guidance is very key. Communication, open dialogue back and forth. Emotional relief of knowing loved ones are protected. It's a huge burden knowing that, hey, this money's going to go to my child or my grandchild, and that you can see that money growing over time.
Yeah, I like the way that you said it, how you want to leave it. Like, what do you want
Yes.
it? How do you want it to go to them? What's the tax implications that,
Right.
that maybe they might be having? You might be in a
Yes.
position where I'm willing to handle some additional burden there, and to make sure that they have an even better situation when the inheritance comes. So I like that you added that portion in too. Yeah.
So clear intentions prevent future stress for families. So if you understand what the intentions are and is clearly laid out in the plan, then when that time comes that you pass, which is a horrific time, and the spouse is maybe left behind and they're not really thinking about all of this that we're talking about today.
Right.
They're dealing with some other things. We can step in with compassion and grace and just try to help the family, take care of decisions that they're not even thinking about.
Yeah.
And it's really
With the
important.
clear intentions of you as you pass. That we don't have to guess as to what your intentions would be. We would know because it's already set out in your legacy plan.
Most definitely. And again, it all comes down to proper planning in advance to have a calm and stress-free retirement. Joe,
Right,
wouldn't you
absolutely.
agree?
I agree, absolutely. The earlier that we start, the better off. There's so many elements to your retirement plan. This is not an investment plan. It's not a stack of papers. We're talking about how do we do everything from income to health insurance to taxes to estate planning. We're looking at where does our will and trust fall in there. All of these things need to be addressed. And so the only way to do that is to give us a call and allow us to get to know you and work with you to get the retirement that you deserve. So the number on the screen is 888-959-2743. Please give it a call. You'll talk to somebody who can help you get in touch with us. The QR code is on the screen as well. Our website is available, firstchoicefinancialservicesinc.com. You can always contact us directly, talk to our wonderful staff. But the important part is that you're going to get somebody who's going to listen to you. You're going to walk away with a complimentary, customized retirement plan just for you.
Joe, thank you so
look
much.
forward to
Kevin.
seeing you.
Absolutely. Kevin, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, the number to call is 888-959-2743 to book that consultation today with the team of First Choice Financial Services Incorporated. We want you to have a stress-free retirement. How do you do that? You plan ahead. Once again, 888-959-2743, or click the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We'll see you back 1 week from today on Mid-State Money Talk. Take care.